Views expressed in the videos are my observation, analysis of events, persons based on principles of astrology. It's not my intent to predict, forecast absolute outcomes, only suggest how they may unfold. Nothing is set in stone. I could be wrong, but often I'm right. My desire is not to promote fear, only inform about what we see unfolding. It is our wish to prepare our subscribers for events that could affect them, their family, their goals, and their future, to help to prepare for what you may already suspect is happening, and to send a warning shot across the bow and raise a flag of concern. Our goal is to help, not hinder, in these perilous times, to inspire and offer possible direction, and to reveal that a greater plan and purpose are behind all that is happening. Eventually, we will see a brighter day. If you would like to show your appreciation for our work on these videos or this channel, and also the Knowing Whispers channel, you can always click on the word thanks at the bottom of all the videos. Hello everybody, it's Robert Cosmar of the Astrology of Life YouTube channel and the 3 Substack newsletters, Knowing Whispers, Messages from the Universe, Trump in America, and Ask the Astrologer. The title of my video today is, Are the Assassination Attempts on Trump Over? And what I'm going to be doing in this video is to be highlighting the past 2 assassination attempts, and then also giving you my opinion on potential events that could manifest in the future. One of those might not be that too far off. The first image you're looking at right here is the actual timing of the first attempt on Trump's life, the attempt in Butler, PA. This was on June the 14th. I'm sorry, that's his birthday. July the 13th, 2024, 6:11 p.m. And there are 2 things in particular that are to be noticed here. Oftentimes in astrology, there are patterns that develop where things repeat themselves. And oftentimes these things will happen when you have a planet that is going direct and then it goes retrograde and then it comes back and goes direct and maybe goes retrograde again. This indicates a situation that wants to repeat itself because it hasn't come to its resolution. So the thing to be noticed here about this particular date, actually there were 2 things, was that Uranus, transiting Uranus, was very close to being exactly squaring Trump's Mars in his 12th house. On top of that, you can see right here too that transiting Mars was squaring his natal Mars. You'll see here as I go forward in these presentations that Mars plays a very big part on what is happening with Trump, along with this Uranus squaring Mars. And we very well may see a situation develop here fairly quickly. This particular pattern that I'm talking about here could manifest itself again. Okay, now let's go ahead and go forward one more image. All right, this was the attempt where they discovered the man in the bushes with the rifle and the scope on it. Okay, this occurred on September the 15th, 2024. Okay, and there's 2 things to be noticed here. Again, remembering what I just mentioned to you about the assassination attempt in Butler, PA. Uranus, okay, stationary direct. When a planet is stationary, it becomes more powerful than it normally would. Okay, still it is squaring this Mars. Okay, it's going to do that I think 5 times before it's finished. The other thing here is the player Mars. You can see here that Mars was very close to conjuncting Mercury, Trump's Mercury in his horoscope. So this is the second time we've seen this pattern of a close aspect of Uranus to Trump's Mars, and also to transiting Mars, conjuncting one of his personal planets. And my experience has been in this situation, and it's pretty much playing itself out, that this is like a signature. Okay, this is a focus and a signature. All right, this Uranus aspect and this Mars together are forming these attempts upon his life. Okay, now let's go forward one more to October the 5th, 2024. That is 2 days from now. So what is going on here? All right, let's take a look here at Uranus. All right, October the 5th, 2 days, Uranus, 26 degrees, 46 minutes. It's getting ready, okay, to go out of stationary mode. It's exactly squares his natal Mars. All right, now, events in astrology normally come when you're approaching exactness, but at times also it happens when there is an exactness. There's another thing that's going on here, okay? You'll notice here that transiting Mars is squaring his natal Jupiter, okay? So there are patterns developing here, okay, in his particular horoscopes that I'm showing you here that show a commonality. Also, you want to keep in mind that the last total solar eclipse was at 19 degrees of Aries, all right, in this house, okay, the 8th house, the house of death and transformation, okay. You can also see that Neptune's getting ready to go into the 8th house. And of course, Pluto's been sitting down here in stationary mode, getting ready to go into the house of health and well-being. So the stage is being set, okay? And I would be on alert if I was in the Secret Service between now and the 5th for possibly another attempt, okay? And then, as I'll show you here in a little bit, there may be another attempt down the road, okay? And that attempt may have nothing to do with his political situation, okay? You know, the situation of him being elected, re-elected as president in November is not looking favorable, but the stuff that's going to occur between now and that election, and even beyond that election, is going to defy any logic and reasoning to the process that we've been led to believe throughout our lifetimes. Okay, Trump is going to take all of the dirty tricks out of his magic bag, and he is going to work all the angles. He's going to create delay. He's going to create deception. He's going to lie. Okay, he's going to attempt to wear down the American people into believing that no matter what you want, I'm still going to win. All right, which of course, again, is another lie. All right, so let's move forward here. Okay, again, October the 5th, that's 2 days from now. So I would be on alert, okay, that something could occur, may occur. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, now let's go off into the future here. Well, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the 5th of October. Okay, here is October the 5th. This is Mars squaring Jupiter. All right, now this is a solar arc directed Neptune opposing, okay, the North Node. The nodes in astrology have to do with associations in your horoscope. Whatever your North Node is at, whatever sign it's in, whatever house it's in, that is telling you that you probably are having associations with people that have common interests in that sign and in that house. Your South Node would probably be an indication of past life associations by house and by sign as to what you were doing. Okay? This Neptune opposing the North Node here can signify circumstances surrounding unstable individuals. Possibly you could be talking about a situation here that something's happened because of an unstable individual, or decisions that are not in your best interest regarding people that are unstable. Things of that nature, okay, is exact on October the 5th. Here is Uranus retrograde squaring Mars on the 5th. Okay, so we have all of this indication going into the fifth itself of dire circumstances potentially if proper precautions are not taken into consideration. Okay, we'll just have to see. We won't know until after this is over with. And sometimes these things, obviously, they happen after. You know, I was beginning there for a while to wonder about Uranus squaring the moon in the USA chart. And then several days after that, we had this situation of the hurricane, and we had the situation in Israel going on, and we had the continued amping up of deception and lies. If you've had a chance to surf around the internet lately, it's just loaded with lies and deceptions, okay, all over the place. And they're very skillful in the ways that they try to deceive you into perceiving something incorrectly. Okay, so let's jump into the future to next March, or I'm sorry, May. Okay, this is May the 8th, 2025. This is the last pass that Uranus is going to make, okay, to Donald Trump's natal, okay, Mars. Again, it's exact on that date, okay, so the circumstances building up, all right. Again, here we go, Mars. Mars is close to conjuncting Pluto in Donald Trump's 12th house, okay. And as you can see here from what I've shown you, Mars is playing, it's like a trigger, you know, Uranus squaring Mars sets the stage. And if Mars is aspecting almost any of his planets, it is triggering possibly the circumstances that are going to occur. And of course, if you were to evaluate Mars conjuncting Pluto versus Mars squaring Jupiter, I would have to admit that I think that this is a much more deadly signature than Mars squaring Jupiter, although you never know. Okay, you just never know. You can see here that Pluto, still in a stationary mode, has gone into the house of health. Neptune has also gone into, okay, the 8th house, and then looky here, Saturn has gone into the 8th house as well. All right, so all of this drama, so to speak, whether or not he does or does not win the election, okay, there is this circumstance that could present itself as late as May of 2025. You know, you have no doubt been curiously watching the fact that so many people that have followed Donald Trump have seemed to be harmed irreparably. Giuliani being one person, and several other people that have gone to jail as a result of their association with Donald Trump. Some have still managed to stay outside the grasp of the judicial system. But it's a pattern, okay? It's a pattern. It's a consequence of basically following dark energy. And in a sense, these assassination attempts, okay, are the circumstance of this darkness coming down and beginning to develop itself right in front of Trump's eyes, okay? It's like the dark forces of the universe are saying, well, you gave it a good shot, but it doesn't look like you're going to be able to pull it off. So your time here on Earth is drawing to a close, okay? It's just, to me, it's just fascinating, this entire period that we've gone through, very exhausting and very difficult, I know, for all of us in regards to the potential factors that can come into play with what Donald Trump has tried to do. Okay, well, I think there's one more image here, okay, and this is for May 2025. You can see here Uranus squares Mars again for the last time, okay. I guess the saving grace could be here on this particular day, though, is that Jupiter does conjunct the Sun, okay. Here's Mars conjuncting Pluto, all right. And again, this is a situation where the severity here regarding the circumstances around Trump's situation, okay, are pretty high. But as often is the case with Trump, when he has these difficult aspects that look like he's, you know, doomed, Jupiter, his very strong Jupiter in his natal chart, somehow seems to be coming through. And for me, this kind of speaks to the the karmic factors that are involved in the person of Donald Trump and what he has tried to do, what his purpose in being has been, okay, and that we all have a karmic uh, date, so to speak, or a karmic deadline. Karma, fate, and destiny very much play a role in our lives, and that information is in our horoscopes if we are willing to look at it. Okay, if we really want to know what it is that we need to be working on in our life to be able to alleviate the severity of consequences that can come about. Okay, as things stand now, I'm sure that you're all kind of eagerly waiting, anticipating for your the election in about a month away. CJ and I are in the process of filling out our mail-in ballots, and we're going to get that done here probably in the next day or so. And there are many things to come yet. Okay, we haven't seen the worst of it yet, and the worst of it could wait until a time around the election itself, delay the Supreme Court, all that stuff's possible. And there also is a possibility that things could happen prior to that as well. All right. The situation over in Israel. I'll be doing a video that I was thinking about the other day. The transiting Mars opposing Pluto, okay, in the sky in 2025 happens 3 times. And I'll be doing a video on that because it's very possible that this energy of Mars opposing Pluto, which is a very violent combative energy, could indicate, okay, not only just civil unrest in our country on the day of the election, but it quite honestly could spill over into other factors such as things building up in the Middle East. And that, of course, would be a real load for anybody to have to tackle when they're first, inaugurated and placed into the presidency of the United States. Kamala Harris would be, under extreme pressure at that point, with unrest in the United States possibly, and unrest in the Middle East, and maybe even other places like the Ukraine. We're looking for, some very difficult, challenging, and serious times ahead. They're beginning right about now. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you that there is a pattern often in astrology when you see planets go retrograde direct a couple of times, and they hard aspect personal planets, and that the situation of these attempts on Trump most likely are not over. And we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. All right, those of you that are donators, thank you so much for your donations, whether it's a monthly donation or whether it's an occasional donation. You can make those donations, those of you that maybe haven't made a donation. At the bottom of every video, you'll see the word thanks. If you click on that video, on the word thanks down at the bottom, it'll give you the option to make a donation for that particular video if you want to. Those of you that are members and subscribers, as always, thank you so much. I've gotten to know many of you, gotten a sense of who you are and of what your level of awareness is, and it's wonderful to have that support. Okay, it's wonderful to know that you're getting something from the videos or from even those messages that I get from my guidance that I now put into the community section for those of you that may benefit, from that type of information. And that's something that CJ and I are very much involved in over on Substack. As I mentioned earlier, my Knowing Whispers messages are all over there on Substack. It's called Knowing Whispers Messages from the Universe, and CJ's it's called CJ's Whispers of Knowing as well. And I would invite you to come over there and to reap the harvest, so to speak, from the insights that she's getting from her guidance and also sharing during these challenging times. Okay, from the love of my life, CJ, my spiritual partner, and from Riri, our 10 pounds of angel hair in the flesh, we thank you again so much for your support, and we look forward to hanging in there with you during the process of all this stuff that's going down. Thank you again, and I hope that you have a great weekend coming up.